I quit my consultant job 42 days ago, and now I'm trying to go full time on YouTube. And here is our update. We now have a school community. Now I'm about to pad out. We have a SaaS that we're working on. I'll go and talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And then also on YouTube, big milestone day. We just hit 40,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. So if you watched previous videos, you maybe haven't. Basically, the long and short of it is my main source of income is in videos. These ones have done rubbish lately. You know, it's one bad video and then the rest of them just don't pop. But anyway, I make most of my money from sponsored videos right now. We're making something like, oh, I don't know, what was it, 4 grand, 4 or 5 grand, something like that, like $3,000 in cash and like seven in closed sales, something like that. Anyway, so we don't like relying on sponsored videos, really. It's a bit annoying. You need to keep doing them all the time, and yeah, it's not a good, not the ideal source. So we wanted to build a school community. We were building out YouTuber systems as a school community. Let me see if we still have it here, and I'll go back to where we are now. But we were building this here, the system that took me from 0 to 7 grand. Basically, I process flowed out my entire system that I do to make YouTube videos, and then also to make money on YouTube, right? Which was cool. But then the problem became that I felt like I was becoming a YouTube guru, and as I started then trying to flesh this out, I started realizing it's all just so manual. So I started making like a tiny little tool to try to help me with this. So I started with this competition scanning one, so it automatically opened up AI channels. Next thing I know, I've built an actual SaaS, which we'll get to in a moment, which is pretty cool. I honestly think it's amazing. So anyway, we were at YouTuber Systems. That was we thought, right, we'll make it a SaaS instead. Then I reinstated my Lux AI school, which was Applied AI or AI Automation Pro. And I thought, right, cool, we'll have a YouTuber Systems in here. We'll teach Claude code. So I made a bunch of videos here. But, I started trying to really nail down the value proposition here. I started to realize I'm like, because I made a video, so like a VSL here, and the thing was like, right, you can get my system. Basically, you can use my system, but also I'm going to show you how you can build your own SaaS kind of by teaching you Claude code. So the value proposition was all over the place, and as I feel that the industry is getting less just chuck money and make money, it's more about impact. As I was saying before about Davos, they now want to see impact, not potential. So I was like, right, well, this is now a product, basically, this here. So we now have this SaaS product. I'll talk you through that, and then we'll go and move on to what we've started as of last night. So basically, we then have this product. We've built it out now. So it's 4 parts. We have track, research, script, and package. Track is essentially, if we click on it, a view of your competition. So you can add channels in here, sync them, export them, blah, blah, blah. But you can see track channels here, trending topics, so the ones that they talk about, and you can see how many videos have been made on them. And then we can see top performing videos from your competitors and their recent videos. And this is all just an interface. You can then select one. So say free AI models. People are talking about that. Let's research it. It'll pop it open here with the videos, with the links and the idea. You click research my idea. I'll just go and get one that I've already done. Go over here, go to history. And so then if I go to research, we can see here's one with Gemini. And basically at the top it's things, a bit of stretch. Things to consider. And then, the videos that it's analysed, because it goes and analyses some videos. It tries to search the thing that you've written. Here it's gone a bit funky. AI story, maybe that's why. Anyway, so we'll need to look into that. It then comes back with your video title, a hook, and then an outline and a rationale. And it has this for a few of them. You can just select generate full script from one of them, and it will pop it open here in this script generator where you have your voice basically you add in a couple of your videos and it will try to analyze the words you use and the patterns you speak. It will bring it in here, use that voice, use this entire rationale and hook and stuff. You can change the time, and then from that it will generate a script. If I go to history, you can see it's got one here, and then it will generate this script. So there's a section, and number of words section. And to go through this, if you were to try and read it out loud, you can just click teleprompter, and then you have this little teleprompter thing where you can then basically, let me get that fixed. But yeah, so there's a teleprompter where you can read the whole script or you can copy it. Then finally we have packaging. Basically with packaging, you give it a video and then it'll come back and it'll give you ideas for thumbnails, titles, and then if you scroll down, a description that you can copy and paste directly into your YouTube channel. Now for this here as well, these thumbnails that it kind of suggests, this is just the format that I asked for because that's what I've been doing on the channel recently, which you can see. Videos. You see this type of pattern. But you can go into your settings, and inside of your settings, you can see that we have the thumbnail styles. So you can add a couple of thumbnails, and then from there, it will kind of infer a couple of ideas that you go for or styles. You can change your YouTube description template, so what you want it to look like every time. You can add other voices, and then also you can do like bring your own key, so it's free. And then there's a couple of plans that we're adding in as well now to try to figure out how this will work. So that's the system, and as you can see, it's amazing. It is actually amazing. So I have a couple of ideas on how we can make it even better, but that's what we're working with. So I'm like, this SaaS is actually incredible. What can we do about it with it? So then I thought, right, I want to teach people stuff. Even if I had a successful SaaS, I want a community. I want to talk to people. I want a thing. So AI to app. Basically, it's a little kind of gamified version to get you from zero to your first application ever using AI. Maybe not first ever, but your first proper one that's published. And I thought, right, let me riff it in my own brain the way I would think. So first is just build it, just start. Just walk out the house, just start. Then let's make it legit. So this is actually like, just start is make an MVP in Gemini. Then let's make it real is move it into Claude Code and let's actually start using this code. Ship it, let's make it published, boom, V1, done. So V0 here, V1, ready to go. I'll drop my pen, hold on. Then, when it's ready to go, next thing is, how do we make some money, get some users, this kind of thing. So, we're going to talk about that there. And then make it better is right. Now that this is all here, and you've got V1, how do you go to V2, V3, V4, blah, blah, blah. And so that's what I've been fleshing out with this here. Over in Excalibur, you may or may not be able to read my writing, but essentially, yeah, you have an idea. And basically my idea thing is it rubbish? Is it a rubbish idea or is it not? Make it in Gemini, then move it into Claude Code. Then you're going to go into making it real by actually, turn it into like a real project. Then put it on a real domain. And then you want to add Stripe and stuff for actual money. Then you want to go into this is the kind of stuff that is more akin to like what my job has just been before I quit, which is, DevOps, pretty much. So I suppose that's probably why this actually makes so much sense to me, because I'm a DevOps guy in essence. So I understand that side of things and I can use AI to do the systems. Anyway, cool. Yeah, so that's the idea. We have this YouTuber Systems as our SaaS. We're going to actually try and market and sell it as a real SaaS. But in the meantime, whilst we're kind of getting it sorted, we're using it as like here's what I've built. Go check it out. See if you like it or not. If you want to build something like this, come and join. Oh, the way that I thought about this, just to touch on it briefly, is if we go to school, where is it? Oh, I never figure it out. Schools, games, and then tech. And we'll see in here in tech that we have Alex Finn at second here. He's just bumped up to this, and this is because he's really leaning into Claude right now, I think. But Vibe Coding Academy, and it's such a simplistic model. He's like, week one, come up with an idea. Week 2, build it. Week 3, launch it and get your first customer. Now I want to do this same thing, but a whole week before I've made an app? No, not not my cup of tea. And I think you could do it faster than 3 weeks. I think honestly, you could have your MVP with a couple of good prompts in a week. Maybe two. Because this is for me. This is all on my own, with Claude, obviously. But this has been made in like 5 days, 4 days. So, yeah, this was the inspiration. Because then I was like, this actually can be really simple. And then as I realised how simple in my mind it was, I fleshed out, and it's really not simple. But that's good, because then feels like it's got a bit more to it. So I've kind of scrapped our Jack Roberts, Julian Goldie style stuff that we were originally looking at, the super broad funnel stuff, because it was getting a bit kind of like, I don't know what to do. Because we're really thinking about it from this perspective, which is a little bit of business side now, which is you have your top of funnel, which is your YouTube stuff. Now, this YouTube stuff should funnel people down into the school, and also then we have our YouTuber systems. And the school kind of would funnel people into systems, but not necessarily. YouTube would also. So the way I was kind of thinking about it more so is this here, where we have a YouTube video. This YouTube video will have link 1 and link 2. And this link 1 is, go build your SaaS. Let me help you. And link 2 is, go check out my SaaS, which is YouTuber Systems. But this also relates to YouTube, because it's like, if you want to become a YouTuber like me, check this out and use it. It's free for the first, like 2 generations every single day of everything. So you can write 2 scripts a day, 2 researches a day, etc. All completely for free. And then the lowest tier we're bringing in is like $4. So it's so affordable, because I want people to use it. I want to get feedback, because I want this tool to be legit. So, and then the other SaaS thing is because, most of the videos are about AI tools, and most of AI tool stuff is about coding, really. So I'm like, well, why don't I just bridge that gap, and we'll just run it and see what happens. And I'll keep seeing, what's his name, Daniel Priestley. He was on Diary of a CEO versus Gary's Economics. And at the time I was like, who is this guy, man? But obviously he was setting up his marketing so that now he can release all of this marketing material and people know who he is. Because that's what's happened to me, and that's what I thought at the time, because he kept talking about how entrepreneurship is the thing and everyone needs to be an entrepreneur. They could have made that word better. But basically, yeah, everyone's going to be an entrepreneur. And for him, he keeps talking about this idea of like 30-day startups. So like 30 days, commit to one thing, and see what you can do. And also, he's a big advocate of waitlist before the build. And in a strict business sense, I do agree. And in a sense as well, my YouTube channel is mainly for techie, buildery types. So in a sense, my YouTube channel is like the waitlist, so that it is a distribution channel prior to me building this. Because that's kind of another sway towards the AI to app, is I want something that's more technical than for YouTubers. Because if I was doing like YouTuber Systems full time and I was going to make this a school or another YouTube channel would be like making a waitlist, kind of. So I suppose actually I completely agree with him on this one. But for you, a normal person who's like, I want to build something, I would say honestly, people always say dedication is better than motivation. And you know what? I completely agree. But you know what's hard? To obtain dedication to something. Do you know what's easier? To get motivated about something and go and do it. And now use that motivation to build the dedication. And this is where I would say, if you have an idea that you want to build something, don't faff around going to make a wait list and do this and do that. Honestly, if you want to just build something, just go and build something. Build 100 things. But the one thing I would say for build, if you're going to go build first, and this is from experience, because I have an entire cemetery of half-built Frankenstein apps, is if you're going to build something, you need to publish it. So if you need to see it to the end, even if it's rubbish, even if it's ugly, it has to be seen through to the end. It must end up on the App Store, or it must end up as a website on some real domain name. We'll just do real.com. Has to go on one of these, otherwise it's a complete waste of time. So, long and short of it, we have, since I last spoken, reached 40,000 subscribers. Very cool. We were a bit worried about money, so we've been freaking out trying to figure out school. Not worried about money, but worried about like the future of the business. I want a kind of predictable income. Anyway, we then have built an entire SaaS product, which is we're still building now, and then we have built / are building AI to app, which is going to be the best school community for beginners, or no, the best way for you to make your first app using AI. Boom. Also, this was influenced in some capacity by my Claude co-work in 2 minutes video, which popped off. So yeah, it was like, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I can make good videos. Maybe I should just make videos and stuff I want to make instead of being paid to make. Obviously. Just a quick side note though, on the paid to make stuff, just because you're paid to make it doesn't make it completely unbiased. You know, if you come to me and ask me for an opinion, I'll tell you what's the best for which. But it's more about this idea of, you know, finding the good in everything. And it actually keeps me up to date with the latest in AI, which is cool too. So anyway, there you go. AI to app, YouTuber systems, AI look. AI look. We make the YouTube videos about AI stuff. If you want to make it your first application, head on over to AI to app. Maybe get AI to app.com. I wonder if that's available. Don't have authorization. Let me see. Namecheap.com. Paste it in, search it up. Taken. Boo. AI to app.xyz. Could do that. AI to app.io. AI to app.ai. Nah, because they're well dear. Like, as in, very expensive. Yeah. I mean, comparatively to a quid. But hey, I might buy AI to app.xyz. Like, just head on over to AI to app.xyz. Oh, that's a mouthful. Head on over to school.com/AI to app. That's better. Anyway, there you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next video. If you have any questions, leave in the comments below. I'll see you next one. Bye bye.